Big antitrust win for Meta yesterday. Meta won its high-profile antitrust case against the FTC, which had accused the company of holding a monopoly in social networking. And here's a quote from Boasberg in this memo opinion. Whether or not Meta enjoyed monopoly power in the past, though, the agency, FTC, must show that it continues to hold such power now. The court's verdict today determines that the FTC has not done so.
And I think that's the thing you have to think about too, right? Because at that time, and this is why they may have issued that ruling, is because at that time there was no Snapchat, there was no TikTok, there were even less companies around, right? Less platforms, and now there are more. Do I still think it's a monopoly? Yeah, I mean, because you think WhatsApp, you think Instagram, you think Facebook, like these are all huge platforms independently. And then you also have to think about who's actually manning the guns, so to speak now. Lena Khan's not there anymore. And who was at the Trump inauguration? Mark Zuckerberg was there. So yeah, are these people actually going to be regulated when they are providing millions of dollars to Donald Trump? Where's the incentive there? It's disappointing. It would be nice if they were broken up and they actually had to compete, and then that would basically create more jobs, but no, of course not. That would actually be good for the average American, so let's not do that. It's just kind of disappointing that that's where we find ourselves, because I think not disallowing these monopolies to occur has also been a force putting pressure on the average American and making things worse for them. And because if you go from Facebook has to compete with Instagram, and then they have to compete with WhatsApp, and so now Facebook has to have an entirely separate division inside of them for, okay, how are we doing visuals within our platform? How are we doing a messaging app? Well, now they have to hire teams for each one of those things that they're building out independently. Instead of now we swept up all of them, and now we can have one HR team for all three of those companies, for the Meta top level company, and then they service all the people. You have to have independent sales and marketing teams for each of those groups, and then the ones that Facebook are building, assuming that they were never able to purchase Instagram and WhatsApp. Well, now they have to have marketing teams at those competitors. And so just way more jobs that are available throughout, instead of what's going on now, where now that they've snatched up all those, well, all those jobs are obliterated. That's the thing about allowing these types of acquisitions to occur, is that it's not just having to do with the stock market and creating a bubble. Well, it's also having to do with the just total annihilation of jobs within that ecosystem as well.